I guess the first question your business needs to be asking is, do we need an advertising agency? However, if the answer is yes, then you'll need to know what they do, how to select one that's right for you, and how to brief the agency you've chosen. Let's start with the services that your agency might offer. And this, of course, can vary from a huge menu of potential services. It will depend in large part on the scale of the agency you've chosen, the niche it has chosen, and the sector within which it works. But here's a long list of some of the main possibilities that you might expect to find a creative or advertising agency to offer. Consultancy services, developing a campaign strategy for your advertising campaign, creative work, copywriting, design, audio and visual production, media planning, negotiation, buying, and monitoring, and integrated services that link advertising to other aspects of your marketing and your wider communications capacity. And agencies come in a wide variety of forms that range from full spectrum agencies that provide the widest possible range of services to integrated agencies which integrate deeply with your other marketing and communications activities, all the way down to specialist agencies that operate in a very tight niche, offering only one specific or a very narrow specific range of services from the menu. Whichever agency you select, there are a number of concerns that you're going to need to satisfy through your selection process. Will they make the effort to properly understand your brand, your business, your products and services? Do they understand your customers? Will they take time to get to know them? What is their strength creatively? And how well does it fit with your brand and your brand values and the image you try to create for it? How good are their project and campaign management processes? Are they likely to be able to hit your budget, respect your timescales, and deliver to the quality that you expect of them? And how well will they communicate with you to keep you updated and therefore feeling confident of their performance? And of course, how much clout will they have when they're negotiating for media space? If they have a big reputation and a lot of buying clout, then you'll get the best media at the best prices. But if they don't, you'll struggle to place your ads where you really want them, or to get a cost-effective solution, a competitive price from those media. Once you've selected your agency, you'll need to prepare an advertising brief for them. And this needs to include a number of things. The background to your company, your brand, your products and services, your customers, and your competitors. Any research data you have, any information you have about potential target customers, and of course, your campaign objectives, what it is you want to achieve through the advertising campaign. And the more specific you can make your campaign objectives, the better, because it will be easier to monitor and measure performance against them. Use numbers where you can, and where you're using relative measures, then make sure you provide baseline figures. For example, percentage increases in sales. You need the baseline to be able to measure the increase. It's also important that your brief integrates the various elements of the process to make sure that you cover everything you need, from the creative process to production to media selection and buying. And vitally, you need to set the measures for advertising performance. If you over-focus on one of these elements, then it's likely that this lack of balance will not lead to a successful campaign. Typically, inexperienced clients of media agencies tend to over-focus at one extreme, either on the creative aspects of the advertising campaign or the numbers. It's vital that your brief spans the whole spectrum and gives equal weight to both, or deliberately puts the weight where your priorities lie. And of course, be sure that your campaign brief is fully signed off internally before you release it to the agency, because otherwise any future changes made because executives within your organisation weren't comfortable or weren't even aware of the brief you issued, they will be very costly to implement. It's quite reasonable, by the way, that the agency will consider your campaign brief to be a part of their contract with you, and therefore they'll expect to honour that brief. If the brief changes, then the contract's changed and a cost will arise. And talking about cost, it's absolutely vital that you're crystal clear about the commercial terms and what they do and do not include. What do you believe you're paying for? What do you expect to get as part of the service? How much are you going to be paying? And when will payments fall due? All of this needs to be properly documented in your contract with the agency. Finally, set out the processes by which you will review the performance, firstly of the agency, and secondly of the advertising campaign that they've created for you. Indeed, there are a number of specialist consultancies that you could engage to carry out these performance reviews. The agencies aren't always comfortable with having an external agency advising their client, but it's your choice. If you feel you need to make sure you are getting best value for money, particularly with media placement and media buying, then why not go to an expert consultancy who can look after your best interests from a position of knowing the whole market and what's going on at the moment and what the best deals are. As with all procurement, engaging an agency is something you need to take your time over, to get good advice on, and to do in a structured way. But if you follow good practice, there's every chance you'll select an agency that is right for you, is a good fit, and will therefore deliver great results. Please do give a thumbs up if you like this video. I'll be making loads more great management courses content for you, so please do subscribe to the channel, and of course hit the bell so you don't miss any of it. I look forward to seeing you in the next one, and in the meantime, keep learning.